On tap, Hunahpu's Imperial Stout. Hi, I'm David Martinez, and this is your Better Beer Authority. Today, we're going to be drinking a very special beer, Hunahpu's Imperial Stout from Cigar City Brewing. This Imperial Stout has been brewed once a year for the past 5 years and released only at the brewery during Hunahpu's Day. The latest Hunahpu's Day took place on March the 8th, which sadly did not go as expected for Cigar City, causing them to cancel the event going forward and start distributing the beer. This big Imperial Stout is aged on cacao nibs, Madagascar vanilla beans, cinnamon, and both ancho and pasilla chilies. It is named after Hunahpu, a character in Mayan mythology which is a little bit too awesome to try to condensate in 3 sentences or so. Hunahpu's Imperial Stout gets 100 from Rate Beer and also 100 from Beer Advocate, and also topping number 17 on the top 250 beers. Let's see what the guys have to say. Richard, how's it going?
Hey Dave.
So what can you tell me about the appearance of this beer?
It's very dark. Yeah, it's really dark, thick, leaves a really nice tint hue, like the lacing. It's gorgeous beer.
It is. You can't see through it.
Yeah, you can't see through it, but the style I think it is, this is perfect color.
Yeah, it's very, very good looking beer. So Brian, can you tell me if any aromas that particular stand out for you?
Oh, I mean, I don't have to do it again and sip it. It's definitely the chocolates. It's that like a roasted chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
There are also some fruity characters to it, whether it's, I don't know if it's like a prune or something like that, but it's it's definitely it starts with the chocolate. It's kind of that fruit character, the prune or raisiny, and then there is kind of, you do get a little smell already from the like a smoke character to it. So yeah,
understandable. And Mark, are there any particular tastes that you're getting out of the beer?
Yeah. I think the taste matches the aroma really nicely. Getting, again, a lot of barrel qualities, so some toffee, chocolate, caramel as well, and I'm definitely picking up some fruit. There's a big malt bill here, definitely. Some alcohols really shining through as well. It's a really complex beer. There's a lot to say about all the complexity, and as it warms, the flavors are even more dramatic.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I mean, it was a little bit cold, when I brought it in, but now that I'm sitting here drinking a little bit more, there's just more complexity. You can definitely tell there's a lot of layers in the flavor. So I'm enjoying it. I mean, as far as ratings goes, Richard, what would you give it and why?
I'm giving this an 8. I mean, it's close to a 9 for me. It's interchangeable, but I really like this beer. The first sip I had, was still pretty cold. I had some toasted coconut, and then, when it opened up more, when it got warmer, I was getting some bourbon in it and some dark fruits, and I just want to sip it a lot. So yeah, 8 for sure.
Well, sip it or gulp it.
This, I mean, it's good enough to gulp, but it's also good enough to sip it.
So you gotta appreciate it. So.
Yeah, I actually did when we were out there. I did as a joke, the wine thing where you. And I did it as a joke, but it really actually opened up some of the barrel aging in it.
Yeah.
And then it made it linger more on my tongue. So,
great.
Pretty happy with this.
I'm glad. And Brian, rating and why?
I'm going to give it a 9, and really it's kind of where Rich is coming at this. That it's that complexity. It's when there's almost like 3 components to it when you're tasting and you're sipping it. It's certainly that sweetness. It's kind of there's that bitterness. It's probably the chocolates. There's probably hops going on in there as well. But then as Rich was kind of going through the tasting, he was try this, and you do pick up that bourbon character. What we think it is that bourbon character as the third and final taste that you get. So I give it a 9. I love that complexity. I love that those differences as you're tasting, and especially it warms up too. It's a nice solid beer.
So would you say this beer is a nail in the coffin as, going to the dark side? Cause
yeah, I guess. I suppose if you're watching the progression of these shows, and if you were at my house and you're seeing some of the purchases that I'm making recently, I'm starting to join the evil empire. So it's very sweet. So come on over.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a beautiful beer. I mean, you have, your hoppy beers on this side, you got your dark beers on this side, you got your fruits. That's just a lot to enjoy, and I'm glad that we got a chance to give you this, and you enjoy it so much. And It's a 9. That's excellent. And Mark, rating why?
It was quavering between an 8 and a 9, and I'm going to settle on an 8. I think it's really complex, as I already mentioned. Great malt character, a lot of alcohol, really excellent barrel-aged Imperial Stout, most likely, or porter. The only complaint that I have with it, and why maybe it's not a 9 or a 10 even, it's a little bit too sweet for me. I like Imperial Stouts to be maybe a little bit drier, maybe a little bit more of the coffee or espresso type bitterness, and I got a lot more fruit and less of that as I tasted more.
I understand. Okay. Well, is anybody interested in see what we were drinking right now?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I think I already know. So, no.
Okay, so we are having.
Oh! Wow!
Stout. Okay.
Well done. Well done.
All right, so what do you think it was then?
Part of me was thinking it could have been barrel-aged Gonzo, but this is a lot different. The Cigar City Hunahpus, I mean, how did you get this, number one? I had this a year ago also, and I remember liking it but not loving it.
Yeah.
So having it blindly, I think I liked it more.
Yeah. It's understandable. I think a lot of it is really hype, and to be quite frank, I really enjoy the beer. I mean, this is actually the first time I've had it myself. I actually got a decent connection, well, pretty good connection down in Florida, so shout outs to Jason. And it's something that I've been working for the past few months. You know, just wanted to try this beer, and then I had the opportunity to get 2 bottles, and I figured why not share with you guys. So, but
Thank you.
Yeah.
I never had Hunahpu before, and it's amazing that I was kind of focusing so much on the barrel qualities, and I don't think this beer is barrel aged.
Yeah, actually, this one is not the barrel aged version. I mean, they do have a barrel aged version, but it's funny you guys were talking about this barrel aged qualities, but no, this is really good craft beer making process here. But I personally really enjoyed it.
You know what it is? There's the Madagascar vanilla bean, and bourbon has some of vanilla qualities, and that's the excuse why we thought it was a bourbon thing. We were off on that, but man, I'm pretty stoked because I remember having this last year, at a little bottle show with a few friends, and not being that impressed, but having it blindly and completely thinking it's something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were also thinking BCBS, the base beer, or even maybe the coconut. We were wondering if he somehow got that one, the proprietors. But excellent.
So let me ask you this. I mean, now that you've had this beer, I mean, this is a beer that's very highly sought. I mean, people travel, spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to get a bottle, 2 bottles, 3 bottles of this. So do you think it lives up to the hype?
I don't think it's worth going to a great effort. I think it's worth trying once because, it's one of the big ones. Part of trying the big ones to see how they stack up against the hype. It's really good. When I traveled down to Tampa, I guess you can't anymore after the fiasco they had at Hunahpu Day, which is too bad. I wouldn't travel for it. I'd trade for it again, and share it with my friends like you just did. Yeah, because it's really, really cool.
It's really good. So that being said, Hunahpu Day is not the first beer festival in which you have like one beer to release. There's plenty I can think of. Plenty the Younger, Dark Lord Day.
KBS Day.
KBS Day. There we go. That's actually coming up here. Darkness Day. That's coming up too.
In October.
Okay, October. So, but KBS is coming up in April. But that being said, Brian, would you see yourself attending one of these festivals?
I will be there with my Darth Vader helmet on. So I'll be there. No,
so you would go to.
Oh yeah, this is something that, and again, my kind of, as my palate is moving through these various styles of craft beer, that this is kind of, we started a few weeks ago with some of these different styles with the Imperial Stouts, and this is something that we were at a brewery last week and we tried their Imperial Stout, the Russian Imperial Stout. This is where I'm at right now. Of course, I love the IPAs, but this is it's so flavorful that I would look forward to going to an event where this is a staple offering at something like that.
Great, excellent. And Mark, so my understanding is people were standing hours just to have the ability of maybe getting some of this beer, and unfortunately, a lot of people were not able to get it. Sure. But how long would you be willing to stay on one of these lines in order to get this beer, or just really any special release beers?
Sure. I'd say about 3 hours. I think once you get beyond 3 hours, as long as you can drink in that line.
I was gonna say, you have to keep entertained. You know, I mean, yeah, exactly.
And I think one of the great things about these brewery-only release days like Dark Lord Day or Darkness Day is that a lot of people come with homebrew, they come with different craft beers, and there's a lot of sharing. There's a really collegial atmosphere amongst a lot of people, and people love it. So I've never been to one, but love to get to Darkness Day. Certainly is one of my favorites. So
Hunahpu's Imperial Stout gets an 8.3 on the BBA scale. Have you had it before? Let us know in your comments. I am David Martinez, and this is your Better Beer Authority.
Better beer.